So will the departure of Steve Bannon calm increasingly nervous investors? Back with us tonight is Jeff Bush with the Washington Update. It's great to see you again, Jeff. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
What is your take on what happened today insofar as it might either hurt or hinder the president's agenda getting through the D.C. roadblock that it's been up against?
Well, I think Steve Bannon's departure, like so many things in politics, there's not 100% positive or 100% negative. On the positive side, the president should start hearing a more consistent position from his administration, and hopefully that will transition or translate into a consistent policy position for the administration. On the other side of the coin, though, nothing about Steve Bannon's departure changes Donald Trump's core beliefs. And if you're a Democrat or even some moderate Republicans, that's what you're really focused on right now, is Donald Trump's core beliefs. Now, from a market perspective, I think this is net more positive than negative, but not a huge issue, really.
You know, let's broaden it out a little bit, if we might, Jeff, and talk about all of the turmoil that's been going on these past few weeks. Who said August was going to be a quiet month? It hasn't been. It never is. But right. I wonder whether all of the turmoil could possibly cause the factions in the GOP on Capitol Hill and inside the White House to really focus with laser-like intensity on getting something done.
Well, we talked about this Wednesday, really, in the sense that we expected a lot of volatility in the marketplace throughout September, and a lot of that volatility is going to be what we call politically induced volatility. And so we anticipate more of that throughout this year. Will it bring laser focus to what they're doing? I certainly hope so. There aren't enough legislative days in September to really deal with the big issues that need to be dealt with, the budget being one, and certainly the raising of the debt ceiling.
Speaking of which, that was one thing that you mentioned on Wednesday that could probably concerns you more than some of the other issues that we discussed that evening. Does Mr. Bannon's departure, do you think, help or hurt Washington's ability to raise that debt ceiling or to meet the deadline?
You know, I don't think it has a huge impact. I really don't. I think legislative infighting within the Republican Party, not unlike what we saw throughout the Affordable Care Act repeal and replace discussion, is going to have much more impact on that issue.
So, as we turn the corner after Labor Day into the real work, what are the three things that you're going to be watching closest for progress?
Debt ceiling, do we have a dialogue about that that's constructive and leading quickly to resolution on that issue? And how quickly are we moving budget issues through the legislative process? Remember, we have very few legislative days before the end of September, and so I don't disagree that the risk of a potential government shutdown, a short-term shutdown, continues to ratchet up a little bit as we move forward. Not really a Steve Bannon issue, again, more of a congressional issue.
On that note, Jeff, thanks again for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Jeff Bush with the Washington Update.